Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you all are doing well. Let me begin by a small observation. Have you ever walked through a rural hut or village vegetable market where the rows of the sellers are selling the exact same kind of onions, lentils or tomatoes? Now you look at the price tag and surprisingly the price is the same for all the products. No seller is trying to outbid another. No one is saying buy mine, it's better. Because everyone is selling almost identical products and everyone knows what they are getting. This isn't a random experience, my dear viewers. This reflects a very important theoretical concept in economics known as the perfectly competitive market. And in today's discussion session, we are going to explain this in detail. I am Soida Shagin Akhtar, lecturer at School of Business, Bangladesh Open University. Joining me is
I am Naima Sultana, lecturer marketing, School of Business, Bangladesh Open University. So dear audience, in today's lecture, we are going to understand what a perfectly competitive market looks like, how firms behave in such a market, and why this market is the central to the economic theory.
Dear students, today's discussion is drawn from the Microeconomics course bearing the course code BBA 2307. You know, this program has been specially designed for the BBA students of Bangladesh Open University, but the students of the MBA program can also benefit from this content.
Dear learners, it would be best to have some paper and a pen before we begin the discussion, as you might want to take down some key points from today's broadcast. And as always, if you are facing any problem, do not forget to reach out to your assigned course instructor from School of Business, Bangladesh Open University. So, let's get started.
Thank you, Naima. Let me begin with a simple definition. What is a perfectly competitive market? A perfectly competitive market is a market structure where no individual firm or seller can affect the price of the product being sold. It is solely determined by the demand and supply of the market, not by any branding or any persuasive ads.
Yes, firms in this market structure are often called as price takers. This means they must accept the market determined price.
Now you might ask, where do we see this in real life? Think about the very basic agricultural product markets such as jute, wheat, salt or onions. Products like these are similar across the sellers, and there are many buyers and sellers of these products in the market. The price also stays within a narrow range. This isn't a perfect match for the theory, but it comes close.
Dear audience, let's now talk about the defining features of perfectly competitive market. There are many buyers and many sellers in the market, and no individual buyer or seller can't dominate the market price. Imagine in a market, 1,000 farmers are growing rice and 10,000 customers are buying it. Now, if a seller wants to charge 5 taka more per kilogram, then what will happen? Consumers will ignore that seller as he is charging high. On the other hand, the consumers will buy from other sellers. So, what is the scenario here? The seller's output is just a tiny part in the total market supply.
Right, Naima. Another important feature of perfectly competitive market is all the products sold by the firms are homogeneous or identical. That is, the product sold by firm A is exactly the same the product sold by firm B.
Another key feature of this market is any firm can enter into the market or any firm can leave the market easily. There is no legal barrier, no high registration cost, no exclusive contracts and no requirement for licenses. If the firm is profitable, new firms will enter here, and if the firm is not profitable, it can exit without penalty. And these characteristics keeps the market dynamic, and this ensures that the prices remain fixed over the time. Can you tell us one more feature?
Yes, Naima. In perfectly competitive market, both buyers and sellers have complete and accurate knowledge about the product, the price of it and the market condition. And in theory, we also assume that there are no transportation costs or it is same across the buyers. Why? Because if one seller is far away and it charges higher prices for delivery cost, then the buyer naturally will move to the seller which is closer to him. So, for maintaining the uniformity of the market, we assume no special advantages.
Since in market competition, the products are similar and there is no way to convince the buyer that one seller's rice is better than another one, because all of them are selling the similar products. They all have the same features, and that is the reason firms in this market do not involve in advertising.
Alright students, now that we have discussed about the main features of perfectly competitive market, let's now talk about another important concept that lies at the heart of any firm's decision making, that is revenue. And today we are going to talk about two basic concepts relating to revenue, that is average revenue or AR and marginal revenue or MR. Now Naima, can you please explain to our audience what is AR in perfectly competitive market?
Sure, Shagin. AR means average revenue. So basically this is the revenue earned from per units of output sold. Mathematically, we calculate it by dividing total revenue by quantity of output sold. So we can say AR is equal to TR divided by Q.
So in a perfectly competitive market, the firm sell all of its output at the market determined price. It cannot charge different customers at different prices, since all the firms in this type of market structure are price takers. And what happens in terms of revenue? Since the price is the same, the firms earns the same price or same revenue per units of the product being sold. That is, AR is always equal to price. Let's understand this from a very basic example. Suppose you are a farmer selling rice in a competitive market and the market price is determined at taka 50 per kilogram of rice. So, whether you sell 1 kg or 50 kg, the price will be the same per kg of rice, that is taka 50. Let's understand this in depth by looking at the table on the screen. Dear students, from the table you can see that every time you sell more rice, your revenue increases, but always by the same rate, taka 50 per kg. If you sell 1 kg, you earn taka 50. If you sell 5 kg, you earn taka 250. If you sell 10 kg, you earn taka 500. Now, what is the average revenue here? In all these cases, you divide total revenue by quantity and you always get taka 50, which is the price. So, my dear students, this confirms that in perfect competition, AR is equal to P always.
Let's talk about the marginal revenue. It is the revenue a firm earns from selling one additional unit of output. So, we can say marginal revenue is equal to changes in total revenue divided by changes in quantity. Let's go back to our rice example. If a farmer sells 1 kg of rice at taka 50, total revenue will be 50 taka. If he sells 2 kg, total revenue will be 100 taka, and if he sells 3 kg, total revenue will be 150 taka. So, the extra revenue from each additional kg is always taka 50. That means MR equal to price. As the firms are performing under perfectly competitive market, they cannot charge less or more than 50 taka. It means always they will have same revenue. So, we can say MR is equal to price. And finally, now we can connect the relationship between average revenue, marginal revenue and price. So what is it? AR is equal to MR is equal to price of the product.
Now my dear students, with this we have come to the end of today's session. Let's quickly summarize what we have explored today. We have learnt about what is a perfectly competitive market, its main characteristics and the basic concept about AR and MR.
Dear audience, thank you for joining with us today. To enhance your learning, I recommend reading Microeconomics ebook available in BOU website, and also to go deeper into the topics that we have covered today, you can follow the book Modern Economics written by H.L. Ahuja.
Dear audience, keep watching our programs, and if you face any problems, please feel free to contact us at the email address deanoffice.sob@gmail.com, or you can also mail us at the address Office of the Dean, School of Business, Bangladesh Open University, Gazipur 1705. Keep watching our program and keep learning. Thank you.